Let's start on the mat. And we're going to start with raising the arms. Breathe in and bringing them down. Breathe out. Arms up, breathe in and down, out. Make sure that here you press your pelvis forward, so no hollow back. And next one is some kind of a jogging. You can keep the ball of your foot on the floor if you want to keep a little bit of stability. In the meantime, I look up and down. So the important thing is that you bend one leg and then the other one to get your blood a little bit flowing. And then I also look from left to right. To kind of wake up the body a little bit. And left and right. Good. Place the feet wide and the feet facing outward. So this is a goddess pose. So if you can bring your elbows behind your shoulders and your hips in line with the knees. So breathe in, come up, and then out, come back in the position. And up in, and breathe out, goddess pose. So on your own tempo, you can do this with your breath. Every time when you breathe in, you come up, and when you breathe out, you come down. A couple of more times. Up and in, out and down, up and in, out and down. Okay, the next one is jump in and out. So here I also use my breath. I breathe in when I jump in and out when I breathe, when I come into the goddess pose. And then from here we're coming to a high lunge, arms up. Make sure that your back leg is straight. And then I'm gonna open my chest and bring my hands forward. So my arms go up, bend them, chest open, and arms forward. Let's do this 5 times. Up, backward, and forward. And 4, and 3, 4, up, back, 2, and the last one. Okay, then I'm gonna bring my knee to the floor and my hands in front of me. So here it's okay if your heel is not touching the floor because you're not flexible enough. It's okay. Then the hands, I place them in front of me towards my foot of the straight leg, and I help to move towards the other side. Well, they call this a spider lunge or a spider squat. There I move a little bit from left to right. And I can also do this, we can also do this without hands. Quite tough, but see if you can do it. Switch left, right, make sure your toes are facing towards the ceiling. Then you can feel a nice stretch in the inside of your straight leg. Okay, now I'm gonna place my hands around my foot and I'm coming to a high lunge on the other side. So here, press into the front foot so that you come up. Back leg is straight, arms up. And then I open my chest, arms bend. And then I come forward. So up. And then bend the arms, open the chest and forward. Let's do this 5 times. Up, back, and forward. And 4. And 3. And 2. And the last one. Open and forward and up. Okay, come with your face towards me if you were not already. So on a wide spreaded stand, I bring my hands to the floor and I bend my legs and straighten them. So the idea is not to create a very deep stretch, just to warm up the mobility, let's say. So I gently bend them and stretch them. If it's too hard to place your hands on the ground, you can also place them on your legs. And from here we're coming to one side of the mat and we're gonna do the chair pose. So bring the arms up, come like sitting on a chair down, and see if you can bring your elbows behind your ears. The idea is not to look up to your hands, but to make your neck in the same line as your spine. So look in front of you. And 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can come down to a forward fold. One more breath, and then you can breathe out, come down on the breath out. Arms up, see if you can reach behind your ears. And to make it more heavy, you can even sink a bit lower with your hips and come up. Okay, get a little bit wider stand, and with one knee, I'm gonna make circles. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Also the other way. We'll see if your circle can be as big as possible to really warm up the muscles in the hips. And then also the other side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then also the other way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good. Then you can come on the front of the mat for one final chair pose. And to add a little bit extra, you can do it on your toes. So again, bring your elbows behind your ears. And breathe deeply and forward fold. So here you can jump back into a plank. And we're gonna jump next to the hands, and from here jump up, and then we come back into a plank. So from the plank, feet and the outside of the hands, and then you can jump up, hands on the floor and back into the plank. So do this 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and back into the plank. And then from here we're gonna hover with our knees. So I'm not touching the floor. You can't really see it because all the flowers are in the way. And then hovering above the floor, I'm doing cat-cows. Down and up and down. And then you can bring your knee also down, and a normal cat-cow. Breathe out when you push your belly button up. And in when you come down. And also left and right. Squeeze your hips and your shoulders together. Okay, for the next one, you can come up. I'm gonna bring my hands into my hips with my fingers facing upward. So with this, I really press my hips forward, and then with my shoulders, I come backward. You can lay your head in your shoulders, so you don't have a tension in your neck. And let's see with every breath out if you can bring your shoulders a little bit closer to the floor. If not, no problem. We're not for stretching here, it's just a warming up. You can come and sit down again. And I'm going to bring my hands behind me with my fingers facing towards my feet. I'm going to bring my feet forward, straighten my leg and press my hips up. And then we're going to lift up our legs. See if you can lift them up really straight. And with pointed toes. And then you can come down onto your back, hands next to the hips, feet on the floor. And press up the hips into a bridge. And make sure that you really press your pelvis forward. And then we're going to lift up one leg, knees together, and switch the leg. So make sure that your leg is not too low or too high, that the knees are together. And again, switch. Switch. And of course, squeeze your glutes. Make sure that your hips don't sink lower. And switch. Switch. And the last time, switch. And then you can come down. Reach towards your toes and fold over your legs. And then you can come onto your belly. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. And press up into a cobra. Make sure that your shoulders are away from the ears. That you press your shoulder blades towards each other. Child pose. Downward facing dog. And here you can bend left and right a little bit to get some stretch in your hamstrings, the shoulders. And let's move on to the low lunge. So one leg is in the front. Press down. Stretch the front leg and the hamstring. We switch also sides. Bring your hands in your hips to press your hips down. Straighten the front leg. Forward fold. So here you can press yourself a little bit deeper into a stretch. And come up. That was it.